One and a two and a...
Happy Sunday to you, viewer. I'm Chris from Box Punk, and I am here not to interview anybody, not to talk to any indie creators, but to take a second or an hour and just kind of reflect on the year of 2025. A lot of things happened for me personally, professionally, here on the show, creatively, and I just wanted to take a second and kind of celebrate. And I don't know, look back and look ahead and do all of those things with you. Now I'm a nerd, and so I put together a slide deck, which is the most unpunk thing feeling that it is. But that's what I did. And so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show that. I'm trying something new. I don't know if you can actually see that or not. Can you? Can you see the comments, Chris? Okay. Do you? Or is that just a thing for me? Is that just a, see there? I know you can see it, but can you see something down here? Or is that just for me? It might just be for me. Okay. All right. That's weird. I don't like that. Take that away. We're off to a ripping start. Cool. So hopefully this is working on Substack as well. If you are on Substack, then hopefully you can see this. And if you can comment on this, awesome. I don't know. I'm still testing that out. It's still a in progress thing. So who knows, right? I don't know. It's just going to be me. So this is kind of the similar format that I have taken doing my box talks, which are happening exclusively on my Substack live. And then the video gets posted to YouTube and some shorts get cut up and those end up on YouTube. And then some might end up on Instagram if I feel like posting any, but if I don't, then they don't. And you just got to be subscribed to Substack. And also, if you subscribe to me on Substack before January 1st, 2026, you'll be entered into a drawing to win a free sketch card from me. I'm only going to do one for that giveaway so that I can bring the other one I have with me to the first convention that I table in March and act like, oh, this is super exclusive. It's the last sketch card I have. Because, disparity creates, there's some saying for that. I don't know. It's supply and demand. I have a very low supply, so hopefully the demand will be very high and I can sell that immediately. And that would be cool. So I'm going to give one away to a Substack subscriber. It could be you, viewer. If you just go to Substack right now, it's linked in the video description. And so you can tap that, get to Substack, follow, subscribe me. I think you just need to subscribe to me because I don't know how following and subscribing show up on my dashboard. So I just know it shows me my subscriber count. So subscribe to me. And that way there I can find you and find your name and get in touch if you win. And then we can work out details to get you a very custom by me sketch card. Totally for free. I'll mail it to you. I'll throw in some show stickers, maybe some other bonus elements. Who knows? Who knows? You just got to subscribe on Substack again. It's linked below. I'm going to be hitting that quite a few times, and we'll get into all of those reasons why. But first, let's take a look at my check it out, man. The 2025 State of Punk address. Yes, I'm riffing on I think I have a sleeve for that, okay? But thank you. Riffing on the presidential addresses. I don't know why. It's just what came to my head. So this is the 2025 State of Punk address. And there's the logo and stuff. Look at how fancy this is. I put time and energy into this. Here's some highlights. I don't know why it's so small. I should have made that bigger. This was my first full year on Long Box Punk. You're going to get a feel of what I'm going to be covering over the next little bit as I kind of take a victory lap, I guess. That's kind of what this is, because I don't do that enough and I need to celebrate the wins. My first comic book, Barricade Brigade, was launched, successfully funded and distributed, and we have since given away more digital copies, which will give you a digital copy right now, actually, as of the date of this stream, November 30th. And even Cyber Monday, December 1st, if you get a hold of myself or at Punk Rock Chris with 2Ks, like this, him, he's the one. Find us under both of those names on social media, and we will get you taken care of. We'll email you a free copy of our comic book. You get the PDF. It's 12 pages, 8 of a story, and then 4 of little bonus fun things. And then if you want to buy a physical copy, we'll steeply discount that as well and get that shipped to you or meet up with you. Thank you, John, for getting hold of me. Next time I see you, I will have a copy for you, my friend. And then, so we're distributing our books. I worked my first convention as a member of the staff, which was super exciting. Personal win, kind of also like a big deal checkbox for me of working a con. Chris and I launched our first anthology under the publisher imprints that we created, CHK Comics. Those anthology submissions are open until January 1st, 2026. So if you are a new creator, let me make sure if you're a new creator and you are looking for a chance to be included in an anthology, maybe even paired up with another creator. If you're like, I have no idea where to begin, I have a story, but I don't know any writers that want to write it. Cool. We got you. We'll take care of you. If you're a writer and you're like, I don't know any artists and I need to find some people to work with, no worries. We got you. Submit that anthology submission form is also linked in the description below. So handy. I thought of so many things for this. I may have spent like 3 hours prepping for this. It's fine. It's totally fine because this is what I love doing. And the whole purpose of the CHK Presents AHA, which is what we're calling our anthology, is to give new creators a chance to get their stories out there, to feel and go through the process of creating a comic book, being involved with the Kickstarter campaign process, be involved with fulfillment and what that looks like, lining up vendors, being super transparent with all the creators that we end up working with, pairing some people together so that they can, have a book that they can then bring with them to events and say, yeah, I have a story in this anthology. And so then they have something that they can sell. And so if you are a new creator, if you've always wanted to make comics or thought about it, and you just have never taken the plunge, trust me, it's the most rewarding thing you can possibly do. So to do that, just click the link, fill out the submission form, and bingo, bango, bongo, you just submitted to your first anthology. We'll review it. We're closing them on the 1st. We're giving ourselves 2 weeks to go over all of the submissions, pick out the 4 or 5, maybe 6 stories that we want to work with. And then we'll go from there as far as letting people know, so that within 2 weeks, all of the creators will know if they are in or out, because we're not just going to leave you hanging. We're not going to ghost you. And so that is coming. That is happening right now, but that's a big deal for me personally. And then aside from all the comics and just doing this show and making comics and reading comics and talking about comics, I also completely changed my career path and my work trajectory. And it's freeing and it's great. And it has given me a lot of energy where I needed it, so that I can actually do some fun stuff on the weekends and not just dread going back to work on Monday. So let's talk about the show, shall we? Also, if as I'm going through, if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand and we'll select questions by comment type and we'll go from there. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know how to make this not feel corporate or whatever. This helps me. So this is what I'm doing. Okay. For this year, I normally don't like ever look at anything, I had to Google like where do I find stuff that I want to include here. Um, just this year, I've had almost 22,000 views on my YouTube channel, which is insane. It's bonkers, bananas, nuts. I gained 183 more subscribers, which brings me to a total of 352 people that are subscribed to me on YouTube. So thank you if that is one of you watching this. If you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I'm not subscribed, subscribe now. And then who knows? You could be part of a number record breaking next year. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to look at numbers again. I don't even know if I'm going to do this again next year. Who knows? I'm doing it this year though. And so thank you to the 352 people that have subscribed and to the almost 22,000 people that have viewed. Even if you checked out a video for like 15 seconds, which a lot of people do, that's fine. That's fine. Also, I saw a ton of traction on shorts. So I love Substack for automatically uploading my live streams to my YouTube channel and automatically uploading all of the shorts from my live streams onto YouTube. So that's super big win. Real excited. I had 76 new streams in 2025. That feels like a lot. Also feels like maybe I did more, but I don't know. I had guests from all over the world, like literally all over the world. I was trying to keep track of everything. If I had spent more time, I would have done a full list or maybe even made a map with the little skulls of where everybody's been. But right off the cuff, obviously Canada and England, London, Chile, no, not Chile, Barbados, Australia, Ireland, Scotland, Japan, plenty in the US of A, plenty in Canada, one even in Alaska, which feels like its own country. And, you know, probably more that I'm forgetting because I don't have a good memory. But that's also like that part, that thing for me is real exciting. Like, I love that this show has a global reach because there's like, how else are you going to find out about creators on the other side of the world if you're not hearing them talk about their comics on YouTube channels or podcasts or whatever, and being a part of that, of people discovering new creators and new stories? Man, that's a win. So, going forward, 2026, if you are not one of my Substack subscribers, this might be new to you. I am only streaming on Sundays in 2026 going forward because Mondays, I'm going to be focusing on my creativity. And it wasn't easy, honestly. Like, I'm a people pleaser, and doing Sunday, Monday, even switching to Sunday, Monday and not doing like 5 streams a night or a week, like I was doing when I first started the show, bumping it down to 2 nights a week felt like a tough decision. Bumping it down to 1 stream a week felt even tougher. I'm still wrestling with it, but I know it's the right thing because it's the thing I keep coming back to. If I'm going to be focusing on being creative in 2026, and that's making comics, that's doing things for the convention that I work with, that's who knows what else I might get into in 2026. I need to be able to set time aside to focus on those things. And so Mondays are going to become my creative times because I already have the rhythm of doing something on Mondays that scratches the creative itch with this show. And so now, instead of focusing on other people's creativity, I'm just going to be turning that inward and focusing on mine. I'm going to be selfish, and I'm there's a difference between being selfish and self-interested. And I'm going to be self-interested in 2026 and give myself more space to create. So hopefully that means more stories, more comics, more all the things coming from me in 2026. We'll see. It's all an experiment. The other thing in 2026, the video book reviews that I was doing, I'm not bringing those back. Here's the thing. Secret time, right? This isn't a secret at all because I'm telling you. While I enjoy doing book reviews and doing the video reviews, I don't know if you were listening 30 seconds ago and I said I'm a people pleaser, But I'm a people pleaser to the point that I was putting a lot of stress on myself to do those review videos in a certain time frame. And if I didn't, then I was just getting anxious about not having them done in the time frame that I told the creator that I was going to get it done in. And then stressing that I had X number of emails with digital copies waiting to be read and reviewed and posted. And it just took the fun of reading comics away from me. If I'm being 100% honest, I was only ever reading with the intent of putting something out about it here on the channel. And I don't like that. It took going on LA Cunningham's show on Thursday nights where we were drawing and having a good old time and just laughing. And she was like, "So what comics are you reading?" And I was like, "You mean like for me or for the show?" And she was like, "No, like, what are you reading for fun?" And I was like, had to think to like a month and a half before we did that show together to think of something that I had read just for fun. And that sucks. And that's when I was like, something's got to change. So, all that to say, the video reviews are not coming back. Sorry if you were hoping that I would review your book in a video style. However, I will say, with no dates, no deadlines, if you want me at some point to just post on social media, Substack, about your book, happy to do that. I realize that that is much less intricate, much less detailed, much less timeline oriented for you. But if you just want more exposure, I'm happy to lend that, and I'll check out your book and I'll read it and I'll post about it. I just won't promise you any sort of time frame of when I'll get that done. So I know, I know from your side that might not sound like it's a good deal at all, and it might not be. I don't know, but I'm not making money from this, so I have to manage my time wisely, and I need to make sure that I am enjoying the thing that I love oh so very, very much, and that's comics. So thanks for understanding. But those are the big show updates that I have happening in 2026. Sunday streams only. Mondays I'll be creating, no video comic book reviews. Let's see. The next big major thing that happened in 2026 was this little comic that I created with Punk Rock Chris, the guy that's calling me selfish. We made a comic together, and it's called Barricade Brigade, and I would be happy to send you a free copy digitally if you just email me, longboxpunk@gmail.com, say, "Hey, I want your comic," and I'll say, "Okay, here it is," and I'll give it to you totally free. Sunday or Monday, 12/1 only. After that, you're going to have to buy it. If you want a physical copy, we can figure that out, and I'll send you a physical copy as well. I wish that I could have formatted this page differently, but it's not lost on me that we launched our first comic book. This was a lifelong dream come true for me, having a comic that I created. And it's thanks to the 87 backers that we had on Kickstarter. They more than tripled our funding goal, which then allowed us to put more money into the future of CHK Comics and Barricade Brigade and what we're doing. And it just like I still have pinch me moments where I'm like, I have my comic book that I created, came out of my brain, worked on it with Kay, and we have a thing that's out in the world, and I've given it to people and I've sold it to people now, like direct one-on-one sales. And I'm going to be selling it at a convention for the first time in the spring. And it just like, it's the best. And so that's a huge win, personal check mark, to all the things for me in 2025. So thank you to those 87 backers and everybody else that just was encouraging through that whole process. It all meant a whole heck of a lot. And to give you an update on what's next for Barricade Brigade, well, I'll tell you, if you want a sneak peek, this hasn't been anywhere, but up there in the orange, that's 86 pages of script that we've written for Barricade Brigade Chapter 1. That's the current page length. It started, I think, at 88, and then after our editing round 1, we cut some things, moved some things around, shifted some pacing stuff to make sure it made sense, and we ended up at 86 pages. And now we're going to be having an editor look at it and read through it and make sure that the flow is there and consistency and pacing and timing and all those things make sense. And then we'll be moving forward with, here's our final script. Okay, by the way, I did the edits that I needed to do last night because I got hyper productive at 12:30 in the morning. So you can have Nance look at it and we'll be all set. So, and also, like, yes, so many people came out to support Barricade Brigade, support both of us as new creators and take a chance on us. And it's the best. So there's your first sneak peek. Barricade Brigade Chapter 1. Aren't I funny? That's hysterical to me. It took a lot actually of Googling to figure out how I could get it so that every single page of script that we've written could be visible on one image. And there it is. 86 pages of script are there. They're done. They're written. We are thinking this is still, we don't have any hard to define things on this anymore. This is, again, these are all like peek behind the curtains. That's what this whole stream is really, is just a peek behind like what's happening, how the sausage is made, as it were. We might be moving away from Kickstarter for this first chapter. We might just open up pre-orders on our website, which is coming January 1. We'll have a website that will be ready and viewable to the public. And we might just open up pre-orders and then have a release date set. And anybody that pre-orders up until then will take all that money to use for printing and all the things. Because Kickstarter is still keeping their portion. And it makes a lot of stuff easier. And I don't know that we're ready to take on all the things that Kickstarter does for you as a creator. But it just, I don't know. They're the company that gets paid to do the thing that, like, we could probably do that ourselves. And that spirit of DIY is kind of at the core of everything that we're doing with Barricade Brigade and with CHK Comics. And so, I don't know. That's something we're kicking around. We'll see where we land on that. Stay tuned. Why don't you subscribe to my Substack, which is linked below, and you'll get all the updates all year as we develop the plan and ideas. But that might be a thing that happens. So there's chapter 1, Barricade Brigade. You can totally read anything that's there, right? No, that's fine. Kind of the point. CHK updates. Hey, it's like I just segued into that. Website and web store are coming. And I've figured out some like it'll get me there, some Band-Aid type fixes that'll get us there until we get the website up and running. I'm going to have a coffee set up or Ko-Fi or whatever. I'll have that set up so that you can buy digital or physical copies from me directly on the Ko-Fi, as well as if you want to get a sketch card, you can buy that from me too, whatever. But that'll be coming after the Cyber Monday and the sale and all the things. So if you take advantage of super cheap prices, which you totally should, including free digital comics, which we're giving it away for free, following the pathway laid out by Mr. Tony Nacho himself. But we're just giving it away this weekend, including Monday, December 1st. So if you want it, again, let me know. You can even just mention it in the comments and we'll get you taken care of. And then if you don't and you would rather buy it, that's fine. We'll have that set up again later by the end of the first week of December. It'll be set up and I will have that. I'll break my what's coming down here. December, the punk unplugs, like for real. I'll break that just to post the Ko-Fi store link so that you can buy copies of Barricade Brigade, physical or digital, regular cover or variant cover, or any sketch card that you want me to do for the holidays. Obviously, you want to give some punkified art to somebody that you love or don't. That's fine. I'll take your money and I'll make some art and I'll send it to you. So that'll be set. But all that to say, we have an actual website that will be coming in January for CHK Comics. That's going to be the home of the web store for Barricade Brigade, for all of the AHA anthologies. Post, we are running those Kickstarters so that the creators get the experience of running a crowdfunding campaign. But once the campaigns are done and fulfillment is complete, any extra books that we have will be available for sale on the CHK website, which is coming in January. And also, here's that anthology that I keep mentioning. We're closing those submissions January 1st. So if you want to submit to us as an individual creator or as a creative team, you can totally do that. We only ask one submission per creator because I keep getting that question, and that you're a new creator. What does new mean? I'm so glad you asked. Let's step into my office. Great, thanks. Hey, so when I'm thinking of a new creator, right? I personally, I have a title to my name of Barricade Brigade that we put the ash can out. And I've got a short story that I'm working with an artist on for an anthology next year. That one and one, I still consider myself new, right? If you have 2 series and multiple anthology appearances, you're not the new that we're targeting with this anthology. We're looking for the new, we need experience. We don't even know where to begin creators. Those are the people that we want, because those are the people that we are. And so we want to learn and bring others alongside of us that we can all learn together. And so that's through having conversations with creators that we admire, look up to, or have us as mentors or whatever. That's through conversations on Discord of like, hey, how do I set up a Kickstarter page? Because that's a question that I asked in 2025 on a Discord server. Like, what the hell? Y'all have done this. How do I do this? Where do I start? I don't have a collaborator. Where do you start? Where do you find somebody? Does anybody have anybody? Is anybody looking to just do some work? Maybe not paid, but like I'll take comp copies as payment because then I can sell those at events later. Those people that have all the questions. Those are the ones that we're looking for. The ones that haven't done this stuff solo a ton, or like even more than a couple times. So if that's you, and you want to tell a horror story, and we're literally keeping it broad for a reason of we want horror comics. That's what we want. We're creators that are writing and drawing horror, and we want you to be a part of AHA. So if that's you and you're new and all the things, submit. I've got that linked in the description. You can do that super easy. It takes you maybe 3 minutes. If you've already got a pitch deck, if you already have artwork as a portfolio. If you don't, then you can put it together. And if you're like, what's a pitch deck? You're the person we want. All the things that we did on this submission form are intentional. So if you have questions, again, get a hold of me. I'm happy to talk through them with you. So what's the future of Longbox Punk and what do I have going on? Well, I'll tell you. In December, I unplug. I get off socials. I take them off my phone. I just don't check them. I don't post them. I don't do any of the things. All my notifications are off because I just need the month away. Holidays are stressful for me, and I don't need to add my hobby that I enjoy and love spending 3 hours on a Sunday prepping a decks for a recap. I don't need this to be involved with the stress of I got to follow up with this person and that person on top of the stress that I'm already going to have just getting through the Christmas season. So I unplug. So there's that. So don't expect me to reply to you in December because I'm not gonna. January, AHA submissions closed on the 1st. Also in January, live streams come back. I already have my first guest scheduled for January. I already have a guest scheduled in February as well. So the scheduling link, if you would like that, I can send it to you. I know I told some people I would send it to them. I don't have that list anymore because I just got fed up one night and I was like, I have too many things, and just started deleting stuff without really reading it. And so if you were one of those people that I said, hey, I'll send you the link, and I didn't remember who you were when I sent the link out, yesterday. A, I'm sorry. And B, just get a hold of me. Uh, I Hey, look, here's contact info. Do use that, okay? I'll still see emails. And if you text me, like legit, you can text that number 513-341-6795 or email me longboxpunk@gmail.com. And you can get a hold of me and ask questions and say, hey, I want to come on in 2026. I know I'm running a Kickstarter in March. And so can I grab a date in March? And I'll say, yeah, absolutely. The whole year of my schedule is on that scheduling link, which note to self, I need to block off October for the third annual October panels. Block October 2026. See, this is the beauty of doing stuff live. As it comes to me, I remember. But yeah, if you've got questions about any of the things, you email me anytime. You can text me, like I said, 513-341-6795. Don't call me because I'm not going to answer. I don't answer under numbers. So don't bother calling me, but text me, and it's a Google Voice number, okay? Like you can text it and I will get it and I can respond, and it's easier, and it doesn't have to take place on a Meta app or on big company's app, whatever. It just takes place on Google's. So that's better, right? I don't know if that's better. What else is coming? January 1, the submissions close. That's a hard deadline. If you don't have it in by January 1, sorry. If you try and submit to us in 2026, you're going to get rejected because I'll be up at midnight on New Year's Eve and I will close submissions. That's Eastern time. I will close submissions at midnight so that any time in 2026, too late. You waited too late. You had a month and a half to submit and you waited too late. So don't and submit now. Why wait? March 16th is our tentative launching date for the AHA Anthology. That's a almost 2.5 month turnaround for creative teams to get paired, work to develop a story, and then write. It's a short comic script, so it's not like we're asking you to write like a 40-page comic in 2.5 months. You can do a 48-page comic in 2.5 months. I believe in you as creators. And if not, we will push you to, because you're going to need to have it done by the time the campaign closes in April. So why not set yourself an early deadline so that even if you're late, you're still on time. That's a life hack also, by the way. March 16th, Ides of March. No, that's the 14th of March, right? Yeah, 3/16 is Stone Cold Steve Austin Day. 3/14 is the Ides of March. But on Stone Cold Steve Austin Day in 2026 is when we're looking to launch the AHA campaign so that you can support all of these brand new creators. And I really hope you do. We're going to have all of the rewards super cheap so that we can actually get this thing funded, guaranteed. Like I would love to guarantee creators like, hey, if you submit and you get in and accepted and you get the story made, we are going to print copies of this and you will get copies of this book, including your story, because that's the whole point. So we're going to have everything as cheap as possible for the goal to almost guarantee funding. So that's what's going on. What's up, Jay? And what else? In March, end of March, that last weekend, I will be up in Central Ohio in the Columbus area for the very first con that I'm tabling, which is called Space. It's the Small Press Alternative Comic Expo, and I will have a table. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday, and you can meet Mrs. Punk. She's coming with me. The wife will be there at the table hanging out. I put in that I hope to be next to Alex M. Clark, who is a friend of mine that I met at Space last year. And then he came to Middletown and he's coming back for Dayton, 5-Star Comic-Con in June. And so like he and I got really close when he was down for 5-Star in September. And so hopefully I'll be tabling next to him again. I'll be tabling next to him for the first time and I'll get to hang out with him the whole weekend too. So anyway, if you're in Central Ohio in March 28th or 29th, why don't you just swing in? It's a free event. And why don't you just come support a punk? You know what I'm saying? So all the good things will be happening in 2026. And then coming in June, we already have, again, this is dependent on if we go Kickstarter, if we do pre-orders and then close them and have a release date. But we hope to, in some way, shape, or form, have a launch for Barricade Brigade Chapter 1 on June 1st of 2026. So that's coming as well. Again, if you have any questions, any feedback, any ideas, whatever, I'm putting my contact info out there on the internet. You can email me, longboxpunk@gmail.com. You can text me at that Google Voice number that just accepts texts only. 513-341-6795 is how you get a hold of me. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Ooh. There we go. Is that? Yeah, that's bigger. You should be able to read that. Ignore the weird cut for Gmail. You know how emails work, right? It's 2025. So that's how you get a hold of me. If you have questions about anything, reach out. I would love to talk to you. I'm always happy to talk comics, especially if they're mine. Selfishly. If you want to talk about the show, I can talk about the show. So peruse the description for this video because it's got a link to my Substack where I'm moving all of my social media, all of my posts, all of my interactions, all of my time for socials in 2026 is going to be on Substack. So I'm keeping all of the other platforms, Blue Sky, Threads, and Instagram, only because so many people message me on Blue Sky and Instagram. Threads might not open. I'll still cross post from Instagram to Threads, so it'll still be happening. But if you want replies back or if you want your comments to be seen by me, find me on Substack and subscribe to me there. And if you do it before the end of the year, you can win a custom sketch card from me. So, final thing. While we're talking victory lap and stuff, I don't ever do this, but sometimes when I receive feedback from remove, hang on, let me stop sharing because I don't want you to be taking up all my space. Great. Okay. All right. Anytime I do a show and afterwards, or like I'm giving logistics of, hey, YouTube takes forever to process and I rip the audio and send that everywhere. Sometimes there's still a little bit of a continued conversation. Sometimes I get feedback from creators. And what I want to do is I would love to just share some of that because I wrote it down. And then in my prep for this, I highlighted some of it just to, like this. I don't do this for the numbers. I don't do the show for the numbers. I do it to try and boost visibility and eyes on indie comics and indie creators. But hearing feedback from people is super rewarding. So, I'm rather than give names because whatever, I'll just, I have been told that sometimes these things can drag, but this was a blast. That's a win. Thank you to that person for saying that. And again, this is totally self-serving. Doesn't benefit any of you as the viewers. But I was told that I run a very clean and tight show. Great job with the logistics and explaining everything. Stupendous. I want to make it as easy as possible for people to come on the show. Comics community needs more people like you. That's the type of thing that I want to have on a poster on a table in the future, is just like, thanks, person that said that. Great interviewer, wonderful flow, very enjoyable appearance. I was humbled when I heard that one from that person. This is a blast. I can't believe an hour and 5 minutes went by in a snap. And I agree, and told that person, and they came back for another appearance. By far the best that I've done. That's why I don't want to say names, because I don't want anybody else that had this person on their show to feel bad. But hearing that for me, I'm like, hell yeah, that's a win. Last one. This was awesome. Ton of fun. Definitely a chill conversation and not any type of interview I've ever had. And that's the point. If you are new or don't subscribe already, and you're like, wow, that sounds really cool. What have I been missing? If you're just now discovering me, why don't you subscribe to me right here on YouTube? If you are a subscriber, why don't you share the show so that other people can come alongside and join the community of all of us doing those things. I was nominated. This didn't even make the deck. I was nominated for a CBC award and made it to the top 5 finalists for the most engaging host in 2025 for new YouTube channels under 500 subscribers. That was insanely validating for me. And I'm someone that I need tactile feedback. So getting those things and getting that recognition, even if I didn't win, just having the recognition meant a ton. So thank you, subscribers and viewers and random people on the internet that watch this and watch me talk about comics and nerd out about comics. I'm having a blast doing this show. I look forward to taking the month of December off and just recharging, refueling all of my creative energies. I don't know, maybe messing around and writing some new horror stuff. Who knows? Because I'll have the whole month to just do whatever. So reclaim some of that time that you're losing doom scrolling and make some art, even if it's bad, because that's better than not making art at all. What else? Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. I think I nailed it all. Cool. Spike the landing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking this out. Again, visit the links in the description. Submit to our anthology. Even if you've never written comics before, you're the type of person that we want to work with. And then subscribe to me on Substack so that you can be entered into the competition, into the contest, into the giveaway. I don't know what to call it. Enter the giveaway to win a free sketch card from me by subscribing to me on Substack. See how that works. And then keep an eye out for future updates about CHK Comics, about our website coming soon, about the coffee store so that you can Ko-Fi. I still want to call it Ko-Fi. About the Ko-Fi so that you can buy Barricade Brigade. But if you want a free digital copy, let me know. I'll get it sent to you. Email me, longboxpunk@gmail.com. Or if you want to buy one, let me know that as well in that email. And I will make sure that we get you taken care of and you get some free punk rock horror comics. So this is the final send-off for 2025. I know it's a month early for most people, but for me, this is the end of my year as a YouTube channel. So go do what's good for you, punks, and read some indie comics. And good luck enjoying this holiday season. We'll get through it together, and I'll see you in January.